What's going on, everyone? Darkwater here, and welcome back to Model Railway Easily 2. Was thinking about trains over the Christmas holiday. That was something that my father and I used to do pretty much every year growing up. Do a small model railroad, and decided to jump back in and create another model railroad. This is a shorter series, broken up. I think it's going to be three different parts. The board we're using is a 3x1, so it's basically three squares, just end to end. And I split it in half into two different biomes. So there's kind of a foresty biome on the left, and then there's going to be a deserty biome on the right. Split with mountains down the middle, kind of separating the two, and then three different trains running on it. Uh, there's the passenger train that goes between the two, and that's the track that we're currently working on right now. And then there's a freight train on either side, one on the desert side, one on the forested side, and again, the track being a little difficult to work with at times, but eventually get it to kind of lay out kind of how I want it to. It doesn't line up in a couple places, and the getting the track to go from one level to a second vertical level is a little gets a little hinky at times, for lack of better phrasing. Um, but we do kind of a couple bridges in the back of both the desert and the forested area, which I kind of like the multiple elevations. Nothing in the way of like big city or anything on either side. Just more just natural, kind of experimenting with the track, seeing what kind of trouble I can get myself into with this build. Looking forward, if and when I do decide to jump back in, I'm thinking about doing one of the larger boards. I think you can get a 4x4. I don't know if I'm necessarily in the mood to go that big, because that is a lot of space to build through. But this gets a little on the small side, and we'll see that here in a little bit whenever I start working on the track over here on the left hand side of the board. I I enjoy model railway easily because of it. It has more of a realistic look to it. There are a lot of things that I wish were better. I don't know if developers going to do anything more with the game. Um, I've taken a look at what's the other one I was looking at? Rolling Line, which is another model railway game, and I was taking a look at that one. That game is, I think, initially made for VR, which is cool and all. Not something I have, and so you can run it on regular PC. It's not that great. It there's a lot of frustrating parts with that as well. But they just recently released a patch for Rolling Line to make it more PC friendly. And as soon as I loaded in, it locked on me and had to force quit it. And so I'll mess around with that just to see if that's something that maybe we will get to the channel. Um, but in the meantime, Model Railway easily kind of scratches the itch. I thought about putting the switch tracks in there, and then I realized there's just not the space because we are going to put a mountain separating the two different areas. And again, you can kind of see the water peeking through the bottom of the mountain, but that's just feature of the game. I do add a little bit of water to the desert side, I believe in this one, and then I take it out in the next one because it didn't feel right. But we kind of get the layout of the mountains, do a little bit of sculpting here, but I save a lot more of that for the next episode. But we come through on this half, get the mountains in. We do a little bit of terrain paint as well, and get a river flowing under the two bridges. And you can see the nearer bridge, just it wasn't sitting quite as flat as I wanted it to. And so have to do a little tweaking to both of the tracks just to get it to look a little bit more decent, if you will. And that's one of the things why I would should have done a little bit larger board rather than just the 3x1, because then you could do a little bit longer run and smooth out some of those transitions. Haven't done a lot with the visible vertical change from just being flat on the board to being up a little bit higher. So still trying to figure out the best way to do that kind of thing, but I think it works. So we do a little bit of river, a little bit of island back there on the backside, and just kind of flattening out the front to try to get as much track visible. And again, those two tunnels really bother me, and I was able to shrink that up a little bit, but yeah, ran into the same issue with that other tunnel, but I think I do end up leaving that one as it is. So you can't put the two tracks too close together, but it's all learning. But that's going to be basically it for this one. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. And as always, hope you have a good day.